Yeah, what's good, y'all? It's Chris with Stay True Conversations. Really excited today. We have a very special guest here. I'm up in Palm Beach with Miss Chiropractic, good friend of mine, Alessandra. We've been friends for a long time. So today we're going to talk about the chiropractor business, her TV show that she had on TLC, and kind of how you got here and just a little bit about yourself.
I'm here for it.
I love it. So first of all, thank you for having us.
No, thank you.
Beautiful location.
Thank you.
So we just cruised up from Miami this morning. What did we connect, like in December?
Yes.
Well,
we've known you for a while now.
Yeah. Do you want to?
Yeah. I don't know. I was young, broke, and dumb, Flamingo Park. I feel like,
and I was younger, dumber, and broker than you were.
2014, I would say, like, somewhere out there, yeah.
It was,
and, life happens as it should be.
Yeah. So we got introduced to a Red Cross charity event in Palm Beach.
That's right.
In 2014. And then, I guess...
Just kind of
social media, yeah. And now I'm doing podcasts, and she's got a TV show. So
wow, we both did things.
I know. I don't know. I was in college at the time, like working for Oakley. I think like restocking sunglasses at Dick's Sporting Goods.
Well, that would have meant I was like just a doctor for like maybe a year.
Yeah. Well, and it's only taken 12 years to finally get an adjustment from you, which
good.
Prime time needed that. So, anyways, that's the intro, y'all. We're going to dive into it. She's got a great story, great background, building a great business, and a really great example of a female entrepreneur. So let's just start with where you're from, where you grew up.
That's probably the most confusing part. I came from nothing, truth be told, and I'm obviously 100% Puerto Rican. I was... Obviously. My Deletionist. No. I joke, I'm getting a Boricua, I'm white Puerto Rican. But I was born in Cali. My parents then went to Lake Charles, Louisiana, where I, had Cajun and Boudin and,
Not a lot of people talk about Lake Charles. I know that from Texas.
Listen, Lake
Boudin is so good. Not a lot of people Boudin. You guys don't even know.
Shrimp etouffee.
Yeah.
Listen, my parents divorced and...
Bayou Boricua.
Yes. I'm telling you, when I'm a certified mutt. Parents, kind of floated back together, and that led to Saudi Arabia. So I actually grew up most of my life overseas in Saudi. There was like Gulf War, so like 1992, 93. And then I came back to the United States, to Texas. My dad's in oil, so clearly Texas,
sure.
Saudi, oil. And quickly after, I was diagnosed with cancer.
How old were you when this happened?
I was 14 years old at the time of my diagnosis. And by the way, talk about like alignment. I'm in MD Anderson, Houston, Texas, being diagnosed with cancer. There's no better place you want to be by like, oh, here you go.
Literally, it's the best cancer.
Yeah.
So what kind of cancer were you diagnosed with? How did you even find out?
That's my big why for a lot of things, right? Because I don't think anybody wakes up and is like, cancer,
Right.
You never know like what direction life's gonna go in, and that was it. I had all these misdiagnoses. I had night sweats. Oh well, she's an adolescent. She's hormones, and that's okay. Well, shut her off. Then I had a cough, and they told me I had bronchitis. And the crazy part is bronchitis. You require an X-ray to see fluid in the lungs, right? No one gave me an X-ray. No, here, take the pills. You got bronchitis. Go get better home. Take blah blah blah. NyQuil, DayQuil. You're good. Another 6 months go by. Still have a cough. Now I'm getting fevers. Night sweats are, getting worse and worse. And my mom actually works, she's a laboratory tech. She's been in the lab for 34 years. So, and that instinct, right, is a mother too. Mm-hmm. Something's wrong with her,
right.
She goes to move my brother into boarding school, and long story short, she writes in her journal, and I remember this, it was my college essay, that she had to give back to her daughter. Something was wrong, I needed her. And I kept telling her, I'm fine. And finally, she's like, no. Takes me to another doctor, and finally this doctor says, let's get an X-ray. It's a third opinion now. And he does the appropriate protocol. Take the X-ray, see what's going on. You don't have bronchitis, maybe walking pneumonia, let's see. And sure enough, dead on, there it is. You see it, 9 days. This massive, black, dark mass on my chest. And he just looks home and he goes, please take this home. Go get your bags ready. Go to MD Anderson. I need to check you in. We need to get you, situated. And it was just snowball after that, And she calls my dad, who's still in Saudi, and she's like, something's going on with Allie, and we're gonna get her checked out. We were in the hospital that day for 24, 48 hours. Took a CT scan, and that was it. My life fell apart, stage 4 cancer.
Fuck.
Yes.
Okay,
Just like that.
so you're 14.
I am 14, and I'm supposed to understand, you think after all this time it gets easier, but it's still real. It's still raw no matter how many times you bring it up, right? So you're supposed to be 14-year-old, like, going through everything, this beautiful human being, and understanding what cancer is. And I'm like, wait a second, I'm dying? Like, what does that even mean? And I don't think you even have a minute to really soak it in and come to a realization of what that looks like.
Yeah.
Right?
I can't imagine.
Do I pray? Do I eat? Do I what am I doing? And I don't understand what's happening. And then the worst part is, like, the situation keeps getting worse and worse. You get sicker and sicker. I used to get so sick that they put me under anesthesia to administer the chemo. And that wasn't even the worst part. The worst part was losing my hair. The worst part about cancer and radiation and everything I went through was being a 14-year-old girl who was bald and losing her hair. Everything that I had become and who I thought I was when I looked in the mirror. My eyelashes, my eyebrows, and everyone thinks it's so cute, but in my mind I was like, you just took apart everything that I was, right? And every time I look in the mirror, that's beautiful to you? That was tough. That was like, screw the chemo radiation.
I could see, especially
that was
as
rough.
a young, young woman.
Yes. Who the world is dictating something different from her.
Yeah.
And my whole life changed in an instant. And of course it's momentary, and that's what you tell yourself, right? And that's what I think ultimately got me through it, right?
Yeah, what did you lean on through all this, right? Like, was your family there for you? Like, did your faith in a higher power, God,
I was raised Catholic, like every other young somebody, Mother Latina. Gonna say, it's the truth, right?
Yeah, good life.
But did I feel that way? I'm not sure I felt that way. I don't think that's really how I felt. But I do believe in faith, and I do believe in a higher power. And in that moment, that's exactly what it is. It's like, what do you lean on? You lean on faith, and you smile. You smile, and not for nothing, my life was never easy, even prior to cancer. Never had it easy. Never had anything handed to me. I went through a lot as a kid and as a child. My family did. And, that's another story. But I think you have to come to rationale. Do I, become it, or do I overcome it? Mm-hmm. And I've had a way of always smiling through the hard times. That's what I did. I smiled.
Okay, so...
Smiled. And I had faith.
So how long was that process?
That process was... Honestly, I want to say a year or so. A lot of it, I quite frankly don't remember. I think I was so in and out of it, and I go back to my mom's journals that I don't remember the entire process. I was in another universe, quite frankly. But it was, radiation killed me. That was crazy. But yeah, I was in my mom. My mom was a single mom with her son in boarding school and my dad in Frederick. And all I remember her thinking was like, if she's meant to go, then take her. But I'd want you to take me so much more. Mm-hmm. But she's a rogue. She's meant to be here.
So
and I'm here.
Thankfully. So you fought that fight. When did you realize you're coming out the other side, or when was there hope?
You finally get the CT scan, you get through it all, and it's like, shit, this is real. Like, I'm doing better. I mean, it was everywhere. It was my entire lymphatic system was done. My organs, my lungs, my chest, my neck, my shoulders, it was everywhere. And back then, people understand the studies for lymphoma, which, by the way, is one of the most best prognosis if you're going to get cancer. Not that don't go get cancer.
Sure.
That's what I'm saying. But if you're going to have one, those are the ones. The prognosis now is in the 90s, 97, 93% because of the research. Back then it was the 70s. I was given a chance, 10% chance to live when I was diagnosed. But there's just these moments, right, between you and I think that maybe you could understand this. There's no logic anymore. There's no making sense of it. There's no, hey, she had chemo radiation, that's what saved her life. I'd like to say that, but I also know that's more. There was something more. There was something saying like, you're gonna get through this, and it's that thing inside you that says you're okay. It's okay, and there's no answer.
Yeah.
There's no answer. I used to question like, why I even had cancer? Why me? My whole family. No genetic, no disposition, no rationale. Hey, you get it.
I definitely felt that with my addiction. Like,
why
if
you?
it's genetic, then why am I the only one sitting in rehab?
Right. It's got to be facts. It's got to be science.
You're right, and I think we try to, maybe as humans, try to make logic of everything, where it's a disservice at that point. Like, I can't even imagine being 14 and wondering, why me? And we get stuck in that where it's like, people say this quote, it's not happening to you, it's happening for you. And I think probably with age, and I know when we're going to touch on this a little more, clarity comes and you realize why you go through these things, hopefully to serve a greater purpose. So you fight that, come out the other side. What are you, 16, 17?
Yeah. I decided I'm going to be a medical doctor.
So that was really when you decided I want to be a doctor?
Yeah, I grew up singing. I grew up singing on stages, and I always thought I was going to be like the next Mariah Carey. It's not the next Mariah Carey.
Next Selena?
I didn't know. Yeah, Selena. All right. And I did. I also did it because why? Your parents, when you're born, you're an engineer.
These are safe.
And now I have the rationale for it, right? I was passionate about my health, and I was passionate about, wanting to be a physician for the right purposes. But
you want to help people.
Yeah, and I think I innately knew that, right? But I knew I was appeasing somebody else. I knew it was appeasing somebody else, and it wasn't me, right? And I had a lot of side effects from chemo. A lot. The radiation annihilated my gut, my colon, my intestines. I suffered a lot. I still do, but I'm like 90% better.
Yeah.
So, and what was the answer? And then I was depressed and all these things, and I couldn't compartmentalize what has happened in my life. And I'm supposed to be this happy, bubbly human being that everyone thinks I am, right? Hi, that's Alessandra, man, she shines bright. I didn't feel that way. So Wellbutrins, Concertas, antidepressants, gastric issues, barium swallows. I mean, what was I not on? That was the question.
Yeah.
And my friend goes, why don't you go see a chiropractor? Like, yeah, well, that's not a real doctor.
You're like, thanks for the tip.
Listen, I told my mom, she was like, ¿qué es eso?
Yeah.
¿Qué un chiropractor? ¿Qué es eso? I'm like, well, it's Dr. Mom. I went and I got adjusted for the first time. By the way, he worked for the Philadelphia Eagles.
Okay.
My first adjustment, right? Not even just like a Joe Schmo chiropractor,
Literally, you started at the top.
I know. But he was the first person who starts talking about diet and exercise and nutrition.
First, probably healthcare person you've ever met that is talking about preventative. And lifestyle and real health.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you know what I tell my patients? I said, I'm an expert. I am. I'm great at what I do. I'm sensational at what I do. You know who the real expert is? You. You know who the expert was in that moment, despite what every doctor was telling me and all the drugs? I was. And nobody was listening.
You're right.
I was suffering and taking more and more and more and more and downing and downing. I'm the expert. I innately know what's happening, but no one wants to listen, right? Because that's what we're pre-programmed to do. And this guy was like, oh, what do you eat? What do you drink? You're exercising. Like the most basic
questions that you would think a normal doctor would have asked us. I've had this similar experience,
right? And one by one, every pill I was on, every drug, every headache I had, all these things that I was suffering from, just I was like, well, Mom, don't worry about my MCAT, I'm gonna be a chiropractor. That's it.
How old were you when this happened?
I had just graduated from college, so I had to have been, 20, 21?
Where did you undergrad?
University of Arizona. Number 2 in sciences at the time, and so I went there, again, it's going to be an energy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so...
It's wild.
Where's chiropractic school?
Chiropractic school at the time was, Palmer, Florida. Daytona, Florida. Gosh, I'm aging myself here. It's okay.
I never heard of that. I mean, I know Daytona.
It's the best. Palmer Chiropractic is the Ivy League. It's the Ivy League of colleges.
Is it?
Yes, because B.J. Palmer is who invented chiropractic, so the school's named after Palmer. So We're really well known for our technique and the mastery of that technique and the history of chiropractic, which is an incredible history. And I actually had a job lined up in New Jersey when I graduated, and Hurricane Sandy hit. And I was like, well, I'm not going back home, so chiropractic is like, they do it to Florida, never look back.
So
it's wild.
You do a lot more than chiropractor,
yes.
right? Like you just have a more full approach.
Yeah. I've always done what? I'm aging myself here.
Because people think of the chiropractor, they think of like the joint, right? Like,
yes. Which
there's nothing I still think it's better than
right?
nothing, right? There's
absolutely.
nothing wrong with it.
I'm always going to say something's better than
you
that.
go a little deeper, I would say,
yes,
right?
absolutely. It's like seeing the neurologist, and the neurologist is just on the corner, right? You almost, it's not that you get to pay for it, you get to pay for it, right? And I do love what I do. And I would always advise somebody to get chiropractic care and get maintenance for a spine. But what happened in my life is it was another series of like signing on dotted lines, not reading dotted lines, not entrepreneur, right? Getting involved in
right. You're too excited, you're just like fucking
the right people, the wrong people.
Sure.
Not knowing who I am, what I'm made of. Always ended up in this perpetual cycle of here we go again, you know? But the bigger question, the thing that always happened, is that why is there such a division in healthcare between doctors and chiropractors?
Yeah.
Or hey, MDs and chiropractors. I'm a doctor too. Why can't I proclaim that? What is that? And what if I'm not for somebody? That's fine. But why aren't we co-managing cases? Why aren't we talking about this? Because didn't I take an oath to do what's right by my patient at all cost? Isn't that the Hippocratic oath?
Well, it's funny because I talked about this recently with someone else, just with normal MDs and VOs, and obviously my business, the lab testing, with how many, say you're a 7-year-old patient, and you're going to a podiatrist, and you're going to a pain specialist, they're both giving you pain meds, but they're not communicating, and you've got people accidentally overdosing or whatever, right? Doesn't even need to be pain meds, but there is no communication between any physicians.
Where's the dialogue?
Let alone MD to MD, but I know for sure, because I work with a ton of MDs. I work with a good amount of chiros too now with vacay, where you guys are so on different planets.
Because we were indoctrinated to that, right? We were indoctrinated to think this, right? We were indoctrinated to say that you don't go see a chiropractor. That's not a real doctor. They're quackery. That's not science-based. It is. Here, let me show you.
Yeah.
Let me show you the ways. But the history is different, right? People don't get that. You know, we've been around for hundreds and hundreds of years.
So let's touch on that a little bit, because like I personally, I'm a believer in the chiropractor, but even I just told you, I haven't been really, well, I moved and I really just haven't found one. But that's a fucking excuse, because for as anal as I am about how I feel all the time, and I've gotten better with the massage therapy, I'll do that usually like once.
All good stuff.
And that was one of those things. Obviously, when you're in college, it's like I couldn't really afford it, right? It's like getting a girlfriend that'll rub your back. Yeah. But now, you know, it's one of those things, and people always make excuses like, oh, I can't afford this or that. It's like, you'll find a way, because I look at it now where if I'm going to massage therapist or even chiro, I'm operating at a higher level. I'm performing better. I feel better. There's so much more at play than just getting my back cracked.
But you're a CEO now. You're high functioning, you're utilizing your body more. And guess what that requires?
You're right.
More.
Isn't that funny? You just look at all these massively successful people, they get more into fitness and wellness. It's like Mark Zuckerberg doesn't even doing jiu-jitsu tournaments.
Yeah.
As a
Tony
multi-billionaire.
Robbins is a chiropractor. NBA players, MLB players, right? NFL players. We just don't talk about it. It's there for the millions to do so. But bring it back to the history. It's like, it's been around for hundreds and hundreds of years.
From like China? Like where does it originate?
No, well, the story goes that B.J. Palmer adjusted somebody and he was able to hear and see, and then created the chiropractic, universe, and by a very powerful move, by adjusting the upper cervical spine, right? But at the time it was protesting, right? Witchery and witchcraft, and we're gonna put you in jail, and then lectures. If you ever went to a chiropractor, you're taking away your medical degree, and so forth and so forth. We had to prove this in court. We had to prove that indoctrination is actually happening in lectures, right? And that did not happen with science and published articles and research until 1992.
So
it's pretty freaking recent.
wow.
That's recent. In terms of Western medicine or chiropractic, whatever it is, that is recent.
Big Pharma didn't like you guys. They were lobbying hard. Because if I go to my chiro, exactly, I'm maybe getting off my meds, like you said.
Yeah, 100%. So when you think about how much indoctrination is going on, that means we have to undo all that damage, right? So then what happens? People start waking up. Didn't you have a pandemic? The pandemic was one of the most eye-opening experiences of my life.
For sure.
Because it didn't matter what spectrum you were.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't care. I'm not a political human being. So you do you, honey. But there was a distrust that happened. And I think that we can all agree that everyone didn't know who to believe, what to believe, or still does.
Yeah.
So now everyone says, stops. If they're not going to save me, I got to save me.
Yeah.
Now we're eating organic foods. We're looking to our meats, our vegetables, how we drive, how we exercise,
what
water we drink.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now sugars, right?
Yeah.
And all of a sudden we're like, wow, maybe we should get tested.
We're all like, oh, we've been eating poison and drinking fluoridated water. No wonder I feel like shit.
Maybe I don't need that.
Yeah.
Right? And so there's been this awakening, and I want to believe that we're just like getting started.
We are. I fucking love you said that. And because obviously when we met, neither one of us was thinking this, or the world would turn into this, and I've seen that with my own business, with the physicians we work with, and the patients. Massive distrust. And I'm, working with doctors pre-pandemic, I could still see people are walking around just fully trusting whatever they're being told. Mm-hmm. Not thinking preventative.
Guess what? Florida's statute of limitations here for a chiropractor have way, way, way more ability to do things. Places like Michigan, although there's a lot of statute of limitations, and
so you
I have a lot more freedom to practice here, right?
What states are best?
Florida, Texas, obvious reasons.
Same as my business.
Yeah, you can see. Yeah. You can see why. We have to go there. You know why.
There's a trend there. People looking at yourself.
To practice the way you want to. And now what you're seeing, this is crazy. This is what I'm talking about, creating that dialogue. Mm-hmm. MD nows have chiropractors. Urgent care centers have chiropractors. Oh, so we are justifying that I'm a real doctor.
Question. I love that it's happening, but do you trust the motive? Do you think this is just adding another service, another billable event for these corporate?
Do I trust the motive?
And honestly, it doesn't really matter as long as it's getting out there.
Because I still think there's a lot of insurance provisions that need to happen for me to ever trust the motive. That's the truth.
Let's touch on that. The insurance. The payers.
I'm a cash practice, honey. That's all I got out of the game for a very specific reason. Yes.
Why do we think payers do not cover chiropractic services?
It used to, but insurance provisions got harder and harder and harder, right? And the crazy part about it is there's, again, limitations. You only get this many. You get unlimited doctors, but you only get 10 visits.
Well, you're right. I remember when I first got diagnosed with scoliosis, it's like 18 having back pain. I think they gave me like 3 physical therapy sessions and 3 chiropractor.
We're in the business of keeping people sick. It's just a fact.
So like, you're going to help me for 3 months and then basically...
Okay, fine. Let me get one oil change for my car and then never do it again.
Right, because then I'm going to have right back at the MD and probably just going to write a script for back pain or something.
100%. And it got harder and harder and harder. But again, that's also another mindset, right? People are going to go, your cash is too expensive. My insurance pays for it.
People don't understand
insurance.
How it works? Insurance is the mafia. You're paying them for protection every month.
And by the way,
then when you need them, they may or may not help you. Honestly, the real mafia probably stands by their word more than these people do. But and even with the cancer, you hear all the time, people get diagnosed and all of a sudden
I have a lot of other ideas, let me tell you. I'll tell you that much. And I have a copay. Well, guess what? Have you even checked to see how it works? Your copay is just as much as my cash price. What are you doing?
Right.
But it's here. It's this idea.
It's programmed into us.
Yes.
So true. People, I deal with it with the laboratory. People will fight to defend their insurance company. I'm like, they're screwing you.
it's the wildest thing to watch.
So I think there is a trend, like what you said, your cash pay, and which is more common for chiros, right?
Yes.
But I'm seeing more MDs do the concierge, or they're doing like a membership monthly thing. I do think there's even a shift happening. People are like, all right, my insurance company hasn't really even been there for me. Mm-hmm. Like what you said, the shift where people are taking initiative. People are willing to invest in their health now, I think.
They are. And again, it's not that I'm pro chiropractic, pro doctor.
Sure.
And this is Miss Chiropractic Wilson Spa. I just became a multidisciplinary practice, and why? For that purpose.
You're pro-life. You're pro-health.
Yes. Whatever makes my patient better, I'm always going to roll on the side of chiropractic, obviously, and natural well-being and doing things in the most natural form, right? And the prevention of disease. That's my job. That's what I'm most compassionate about. But I can't help everybody that walks through my door. And now with a TV show, everyone thinks I'm like...
A magician.
Yes. But I'm not. You got people in here with fractures and brain stimulators and broken things. They come to me because they think I'm their primary physician. I'm like, get out of here. You need to go to your care center. You go to your chiropractor. What do we know? I'm not going to set it, you know? Like, come on. Like, you need to be casted, bro. But again, I created a dialogue that it's okay to say, hey, it's okay. You don't have to just chiropractic. Maybe just say this or maybe both. Why is that dialogue so difficult?
So, and that's what you're doing, right? You're doing that your practice, which you said you moved in 2 months ago?
Yes, I quit my...
I want to basically touch on...
I quit my entire life.
COVID hit, right?
Yeah.
And clearly you saw that...
COVID hit, there was a need for everything. But I was in a partnership, too. I was in a partnership for 8 years, and a mentor of mine, and I'm grateful for that. Lessons learned and lived, and I'm happy. But again, there is that thing, that energy that I can't ignore. Like, this isn't, I'm meant for something different.
You weren't living in your truth.
No. Yeah. And I went home and told my husband, by the way, babe, we're going to empty out our bank account. I'm going to go find an investor, and I'm quitting my job. I'm at the height of my career. I've never made more money in my life. Everything, the house.
This is what, 2018, 2019?
This was 5 months ago.
Oh, fuck yeah.
5 months ago, guys. My TV show just popped up. Bought a brand new house in the middle of the pandemic, you know. Look at me.
And then after that, you're like, all right, it's time.
I'm done. Everything I knew, my entire livelihood, I put online. Here we go.
Let's talk about that from like business entrepreneurial. Because I hate to say this, but traditionally physicians are shit business people. Chiros are usually the better ones.
Absolutely.
Actually, I feel like chiros are pretty good business people from my experience.
Yes, because we don't have a corporation.
Right. So let's talk on that, especially you being a woman, right?
Well, that's my other why.
What do you want to do first? Women?
It's my other why.
Or business?
That's the why, is being a woman.
And what's your goal? Empower more women?
No, to empower people
who
are being questioned all the time. All the time.
Mm-hmm.
That's what society tells you to do.
Everyone defaults to negativity.
Fear. It is the greatest. It's like default. It's like the lowest and the highest you'll ever be.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It can either harness you in and suck you fucking dry, or it can shoot you to the skies.
I think we have a lot of people not even realizing that that's what they're living in. Like, just such negativity, fear, lack of self-belief.
The greatest thing.
Well, that's what it is. If you don't believe you're capable, that's when you become a hater.
Oh, every time I walk in, oh, she's so cute. Can she possibly? Like, as if, like, being cute equates you can't have brains. Or oh, that's your doctor? Like, I'm not worthy of something, right? Or, oh, she's really tiny. Is she really gonna move me? Like, yeah, I'm gonna move you.
I give two fucks about some anyone. My dentist says it'll grow.
I get every week. They're like, oh, you're young. What the shit does that mean? Oh, I am a brown Latin female. Okay? Tiny, I'm mighty, I'm everything that I'm supposedly not supposed to be in the eyes of everybody who walks in my office.
Based on the society standards that they've set in the boxes we need to live in.
Yeah. I don't look like a doctor, I don't act like a doctor, I say fuck, at least I don't.
Which, I've seen that in my business too, right? Like, I mean, I was in the medical game, right? I'm in that lane, and it's like, dude, and I was talking about this the other day, we all put ourselves in these categories, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're a chiropractor. I don't even know what I am now, right? Which, good. Because I've been marketing people like, dude, it's your brand, what are you going for? I'm like, nothing. I'm just living my life and just doing me. Like, I couldn't even tell you. I'm just following my gut and going with it.
Good for you.
Like, why do we need to be in these
Exactly.
pivots and categories?
But that's the why. It's because everyone's telling me I need to be something that I don't think I am.
You know what's funny is the people that make waves like you're doing is the people doing shit that is outside of the norm.
Keep labeling me. Let's go.
I mean, I deal with the same thing on obviously a different regard, but because I don't walk around like some big business guy wearing suits and shit, like people don't understand that I have other businesses and you know what I mean? Because I'm not like you. I like say fuck.
I'm not some pompous, doctor stuffy.
Oh gosh.
So what?
Yeah. Okay, so with the partnership, and I think this is important, I have multiple businesses, multiple partners. It's like marriage,
Yeah.
right? It's a very interesting relationship dynamic, honestly.
You better trust your gut.
Yeah.
You better trust your damn gut.
Yeah, I was telling her on the way here, basically how grateful I am for the partners I do have.
That's my partner that I just told to shut up.
That's how you know it's a good partnership. I literally fight with mine like brothers. Like, we've had the best and the worst of it, but that's what brings you together, really. But you have to have that alignment.
You took that bet on me.
That's awesome. And I want to talk on that too. So you're in a partnership, you're making the most money in your life.
I'm in a partnership.
You're comfortable.
I'm comfortable. I have
Externally, right?
Yeah.
On the outside. Everything looks great.
Yeah, but I've never been a cocky. I don't need the Lamborghinis. I don't need the Rolexes. It's not who I was. Never was. I was just comfortable, right? I had a life already that I never imagined anyway.
Right.
I was like, wow, I got a 5-bedroom house. I was like,
You could check the boxes as society standard.
100%.
Yeah.
I have a good life. What's wrong with that?
Yeah.
But no, I need to be disruptive because that's who I am. I
Is
need to
that
shake
just like
things
a
up.
gut feeling that you're just
Yeah.
like, I just need, like,
And I
do you
knew
feel
it.
restricted a little bit?
It was already there.
That underlying kind of like weird tension.
It was there for years.
Yeah.
I just didn't have the cojones. I didn't have the balls.
Well,
I didn't have the balls.
you
And
were wrong.
TLC escalated that.
Okay, so when did they come in the picture? Let's talk about that.
That was about a year and a half ago. And I had a TikTok video, got 17 million views. I get an email, and they say, want to start a show with me, and I delete it.
You're like, scammer.
Well, yeah, wouldn't anybody?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Huh? Who? No way. 2 weeks later, they roll it out again. Hey, we haven't heard from you. We think you're the person for this show. I'm like, damn. It's like, so I start going to LinkedIn. I gotta make sure it's this, legit thing. It was. What I didn't know was that I was going to be pregnant. Like, literally 2 weeks after I signed a contract with them. I get pregnant, and they're still back and forth. And they're not really sure. The executive producers want to pitch the show, really want to do the show, so we're going to do a pilot now. We're going to back it up and slow things down.
Yeah.
They do the pilot.
Dip your toes in.
I'm about 14 weeks pregnant now, with the baby that I almost lost, by the way. And I'm 8.5 months pregnant, and production says to me, I got one last question for you. I said, sure, what do you need? We've gone through, taking me through everything, my staff, everybody. What other question could you have? And they go, are you ready to be the first chiropractor in the world to have a televised series? I was like, huh? Hormones, I don't know, it's bawling, crying. So yeah, let's do this. I'm like, when are we filming? January. I said, I'm due in 2 weeks. My baby's gonna be hot. I start counting. My baby's gonna be 6 weeks old. You want me to film? They're like, yeah, that's the only time we can do it. I'm like, okay. Tell my mom, I said, I don't know how we're gonna do this. I was like, don't work, fly down here, come stay with me, get a nanny. What are we doing here? I mean, I had an entourage to get through what I went through.
Damn.
Literally.
So how long was filming?
Filming was about 2 or 3 weeks. Again, it was just a mini series. They didn't really know if they wanted to do it, right?
Yeah.
It's chiropractic, it's controversial, we don't budget, a million things, And I don't know, I think filming would be harder than doctor. to be on all day, from like 5 to like 8. And I'm nursing and breastfeeding. I mean, cut, put the baby on a boob. Like, Mom, I gotta feed. Sorry, my boobs are exploding. Like, it was the most like, by the way, and I just lost the person that I was. When you become a mother, and I'm not saying I love my son. It's the most important thing in the world, but you lose who you were. And you become this other human being for the rest of your life. That's it. And it's the most fascinating, incredible, hard, wonderful thing in the world.
I don't even know what to ask about that. I'll never know it.
And depression.
All right, so let's touch on that. I think it's important, mental health stuff, right? Everyone deals with shit. I know in my life, people quite often just think it's fucking rainbows and butterflies all the time because Instagram looks good.
Cute.
I'm sure you as well. So postpartum depression.
Yeah, it's real. I mean, I have a history of depression, anxiety.
Same.
I acknowledge that. Like I said, I've actually had therapy and counseling for almost 17 years now. I started, actually, my mom had the insight that when I started doing chemo that she was going to put me in yoga and counseling.
Smart
woman.
It's really cool.
Smart woman.
Yeah.
So I started counseling when I was 14 years old, like every other kid. Oh, am I going to do? Because there's a lot of other things going on in my household too. And I think she saw how that was compounding. And so, I went to college. I had a counselor when I was in Arizona. Everywhere I went, she made sure I had a counselor. When I went to med school and went to, chiropractic, I had a counselor. I still have a counselor. And now I call one of my coach. Because I'm in a different space in my life. I just go in there and I just talk about shit. What's going on? But there it was, and I lost who I was. I'm mom now. I gotta breastfeed and take care of this human being, and now I'm gonna be a CEO. And by the way, and now I gotta film and do what, and I haven't slept because what is happening? And I was going back into that. The dialogue was happening. The dialogue. The one I know.
You recognized it.
Why me? Him? That negative space of help somebody, help me, and there's no one to help me, and I don't know how to grab on. And actually, it was a friend of mine. She was like, and again, I tried everything naturally, right? Go meditate, go do yoga, go breathe, go touch Mother Nature, go grounded, go write. You love writing, Allie. Just take it out of your soul, cry, do whatever you got to do. Music. I couldn't do it. And my friend actually advised microdosing. By the way, I drink, but it's not for me. Like I said, I'm business around. I don't have I don't want to wake up hungover. I want to play tennis, I want to go to yoga, and I want to run my business.
Yeah.
I need to be clear-minded.
Yeah.
Okay, I can smoke, but then I sleep. And then I sleep. When I sleep and I get the munchies, I don't want to gain weight. And by the way, I have a baby. I'm like, oh no, God, I can't help me. She says, microdose. I'm like, I don't know. And then, where are the studies?
I want to ask as a doctor.
There's no real studies right now.
You've never experimented, right? Your friend approaches you.
So it's a microdose. Take a psilocybin.
And what did
I was able to find one study, and I wish I could find it. And it was based on psilocybins in veterans.
Yeah.
And
that's
PTSD.
What piqued my interest was the veteran community.
And the study was a controlled study. I had to find this. Controlled study. One with psilocybins, one's with psilocybins and counseling, and one just with counseling, right? And don't quote me on this because this was a while ago, and that's why I got to find it. It basically had stated that the controlled study that had just psilocybins and the counseling had about a 72% improvement on their PTSD.
Yeah.
Those that had just did the psilocybin had about a 64% improvement. Mm-hmm. Just counseling, 34%. Something like that.
Sounds right to me.
And mind you, those numbers are, it's wild, so I don't want to put that in the universe, but I read this and got,
right.
And guess what I did?
Started.
Scared, I'm a bad mom.
Yeah.
Oh my God, my child.
All the programming society put on their minds. Me too. And then
that daily crying, that postpartum. No, I'm not taking 10 of them and stripping my universe away and melting walls. It's not the purpose of this.
Yeah.
This is not, and by the way, I don't really want to, nor do I care to.
Right.
It's not my area. I'm a control freak.
Right.
Please don't.
Yeah.
Please don't. I'd rather not. But for this purpose?
This is what I love is there's such a stigma around it, right? You tried everything and that shit just boom. And it's funny, I literally got a text message this morning from a girlfriend of mine. Struggling with depression, literally started microdosing this week. Messaged me this morning, I cannot believe this is already working. Like, I had a great day yesterday. It's not some crazy thing. It's funny, like what you said, people think it's some hippie, I'm gonna lose myself. I was talking to my lawyer about people, and I was like, yeah, literally going to a deposition. I took a microdose before, I didn't tell him. And he's like, yeah, but some of these other clients of mine, they're like microdosing. And I didn't say anything until after we finished. Right before I was like, by the way, I took a microdose before the session. I was like, did I seem crazy to you? Like, no, dude. And that's part of, like, we've seen these movies, right, as kids, or TV or whatever. And it is honestly ruining the image of it. Same with cannabis, to a degree. Mm-hmm. Which is part of my motivation with vaping, change the stigma. And people need to see this as medicine. Even with mushrooms, it's wild. Like, people like mushrooms, I'm like, you eat them in your food all the time.
But we're cheating the dialogue on marijuana. The difference is it's just government controlled now. Just wait. To be the next thing in the corner, just gotta be controlled, right?
That's what they're trying to do. Anything that works too good,
it's gotta be monetized
and decreases prescribing patterns, they don't like. Because that's the same thing with genetic testing. It was approved until less meds were getting prescribed, and then all of a sudden, this is experimental and investigational. Right, I know, it's like, dude, how many times you tell me I'm crazy before I realize, like, no, y'all are the crazy ones. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what COVID removed the sunglasses from all of us, per se.
You and I had a conversation before we did all this. It's that there's this massive polarization.
Yeah.
This or that. How about maybe like a happy medium or somewhere between, or choose it your own right?
So you're implementing that.
Yeah.
So
guess what? Don't want to smoke. I'd rather not do this. I need to be a full functioning mother who's attentive and a good wife. I need to go home after a 14-hour day, and I need to cook a dinner, be there for my husband, do whatever we got to do to keep our relationship and our marriage go. And then I got to get on a meeting and maybe work till midnight sometimes. And then I got to fly out, go here, go there, come back, love my baby, and love myself. Okay, so I microdose every now and then.
You're the perfect example, because really a lot of traction microdosing is getting in from moms. Like my sister, prime example. 37, 2 kids.
I'm a human being at the end of the day.
Yeah.
I'm a human being.
Yeah.
Despite what the world thinks and demands of me.
I mean, you have these massive mom groups kind of leading this movement, and honestly, y'all are a great kind of like test.
Probably. Talk about crazy hormones.
Like you're dealing with crazy little kids, everything you just said. I don't see my marriage, providing dinner for my husband and my child, running a business.
Mm-hmm. And I don't look like this all the time, okay?
Yeah.
I'm a disheveled mess. So if I gotta figure out how to make this recipe work, sue me.
So what do you think microdosing, what was the biggest benefits you saw from it?
Start smiling again. Start smiling again.
Really it's like, you. And you've been on traditional medications, right? You've done antidepressants. Same as me.
Freaking zombie. Nothing.
You feel they gave your life back?
I feel like it.
Are you back? Because you said you lost you.
I'm not back. I'm just a different version of me.
What's changed? What was the change where you became okay with it, right? Because clearly you were struggling.
It turned the volume down in my life a little bit. It was like, we're here and I need to be here so I can still do all the things I'm doing without feeling so anxious.
Change your internal dialogue, you know?
Yeah. Hey, all right, I still got a million fucking things to do today, but I can do them now.
I'll be okay.
I'll be okay, right? It wasn't like, I gotta do my
The call,
can't breathe.
I had a not great call on the way here in the car. Not bad, but basically Put up some,
Energy shift.
Put some money. Yeah.
Energy shift.
And I was just like, right before we go meet and do this recording.
Damn, man.
But it was one of those things. I'm like, hey, another obstacle. Keep it moving. It's part of business, right? And I'm a big believer that God is not going to throw anything at you that you can't make it through. As corny as that sounds, and I think, and you can relate to this, I'm sure, it's like once you've been through these massive hurdles in your younger years, I'm like, God wouldn't get me here now, after all that shit, to let me flop.
100%.
It's become so simple.
Listen, as an entrepreneur, as a businesswoman, as a CEO, do I have my standard operational procedures? Sure. Do I know my stats, my monies? Yeah, I had to learn everything from scratch. And by the way, every day, because I'm so highly sought-after, sometimes I don't even know what the shit I'm doing.
I think a lot of people don't talk about that enough. It's like sometimes you don't know what the fuck you're doing. You just keep going, forward motion.
Making sure as I go sometimes. Change that one, the manual, take it out, put a new one in. Guys, we gotta have a meeting today. I don't know what I'm doing sometimes.
I'm convinced no one knows what to do.
But again, it's that energy, that purpose, like it's inside you. Like if someone knew how to like ignite that fire in you and just say, and that's I'm saying, it's not that I'm a different, it's not that I left her behind. I'm a different
Evolved.
version of her. That's it.
I honestly think some depression is like we're holding on to a part of us that it's time to let go of, and we're scared of that evolution. At least for me, where I feel like the microdosing, you said, turn the volume down and just help me flow a little bit easier, and maybe make some changes.
Yeah.
The neuroplasticity,
Change
build
is
those
good for
new
you.
connections.
Because if you're not changing or adapting, and the reality is, if you're not changing or adapting, and the reality is a dog-eat-dog world, honey. You better learn how to survive. You gotta have some grit.
So you've been
Good for you.
solo 5 months.
Yes, but do a business partner. So I only asked my husband name from my bank account, but how to go find an investor.
Is your partner a Chiro as well?
He's not.
Okay.
He's not.
So let's talk about this, because this is a part of entrepreneurship that is not talked about a lot. It's like finding investors, right?
Yes.
How did it come about?
He was divine timing.
I believe that.
He was
I've heard
divine
those.
timing. Actually, we have other business together. People don't know that I actually have multiple other businesses.
Do you want to talk about these
corporations.
businesses? Are they
And I
legal?
also just recently, yes, they are, and I recently opened up in multiple different states, chiropractic. So yes, I am
Like
more than just a
franchises?
doctor. Affiliate locations. But that I
So
do
does
make
this
money
mean
off.
like you make a celebrity appearance and you go crack someone in like
I just
Boise, Idaho
make deals,
for a
get me
weekend?
under CEO. I make deals, and I have a partner, and we've been, we were always, there was something about him. There's something about him. He's an attorney, but he wasn't like any other attorney. He was not the pompous Mercedes driving, let's go get a Rachel. There was something humble and beautiful about him. But I wasn't his world, and he wasn't in mine. Right? Because girls aren't doing that universe. The girls that go in that universe are paralegals, or they know what they're doing. Right? I'm a chiropractor. So I have someone like Dr. Papa, who's my business partner, and he's the guy. He's the voice of the company, not me. Right? But there was something. And it's been 8 years. 8 years in the making, and finally he called me up one day and he says, I'm quitting my job. I'm on my own. I said, gosh, I'm so jealous. I was like, I'm putting money away so I can go there. Put money away, it's going to take me a little longer than I thought. He goes, what do you need? I go, I need this. He goes, no, Alessandra, what do you need? I go, I need this. He goes, no, you're not hearing me. What do you need from me? He's like, everything you've done since I've watched you for 8 years becomes gold. What do you need? I'm first in line. The show happens, and sure enough, investors start popping up from all over the woodwork. Show my grand opening, quietly, emails, boom, 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 boom. Opportunity rises. The opportunity rises. That's all happens, right? Opportunity knocks on my door, investors coming out of the woodworks now.
And you know what? It's funny how that works, right? It's like when we started the lab, we self-funded the whole thing. No one wanted to invest, and we didn't really necessarily seek it out. But it's funny, people we had approached, once the business is up and running and profitable, a year later, they're like, hey, bro, I want to invest.
100%. And that's what's happening. Everybody wants to invest in me. Everybody wants a portion of who I am.
Now that they see it working.
And they see it, right? And even my business partner at the time was still trying to take a hold of me, not give me the credit that I needed for me. He wanted something that I couldn't give him because I knew I was worth more.
Yeah.
And that's when I was like, okay, back to the drawing board. I go, I do my numbers, say, hey, you know what? This is how much I'm going to need. And then with my money in this is what's going to do. This is it. He's okay. Bring it back tomorrow. I said, huh? And I said, I still am weary. You know? I don't even know if I want to quit my job yet. It took me months. Then finally I'm like, I'm done. Let's do it. I quit and I never looked back. I told my husband, we're jumping. And here I am. I opened a business in 4 months from start to finish. Hired, branded, became myself, emptied my account, and thriving. And it's all because I took a bet on myself and had someone who's going to take a bet on me.
That's fucking awesome.
Divine timing.
So where do you think you found the courage? I think it's the hardest part, is just that initial step, like the jump off. Or when did you feel, okay, I'm doing it? Like, was it when you resigned? You're like, was that, like, what moment did you know I'm all in, I'm committed?
I think I was all in before I made the commitment when I had my baby. I didn't want to do it 10 years later and then decide that, you know, I had to put the life in line then. It was now. It was like, now. You do it now. You do everything now. That's one thing that life has taught me. It's now. There is no, like, perfect timing. If I do all these things and I have all the money in the account. No. It's now.
Yeah.
Just jump.
Straight up.
It's never going to be like...
I literally said this morning to Pamela in the car. It was like, trying to appreciate the now. Like, dude, you're here now. Like, don't be always so focused on the next thing, because I'm like, you're now living what you were daydreaming about 10 years ago.
My business partner was divine timing.
I believe that.
He needed to be where he was, and I needed to be where I was. So we'd come together.
And I believe that because you guys knew each other and wasn't right timing for a long time. That's a huge part of it all.
And when people see us together, they're like, oh, we get it.
It's aligned, yeah.
And our significant other is the same thing.
That's sick. All right, so
now I am.
we're here now.
It's chiropractic.
We'll definitely put a little trailer in the video. I think it's fucking badass. I mean, obviously, to see your evolution for me is like so.
And I've been open for 2 months. I've been fully booked. I have a wait list over a year of 17,000 plus patients and counting, all over the world. Canada today, we had New York.
Clearly,
fans.
the TV show is part of that, right? But I think we can kind of segment that into the power of personal branding.
Yes.
Like, when did you decide, just being a chiropractor, I'm going to start recording. I'm going to start posting stuff.
There was more
because
to
there's tons
me.
of chiropractors that don't need social media, right? And I'm a big advocate, and part of my other business and the marketing side is helping people create brands, podcasts, whatever.
Yeah.
As more people are realizing, I don't care if you're a doctor, lawyer, chiropractor, you need to be on social media now. That's your LinkedIn.
It's relevant, first off.
Yeah.
It's relevant, especially these days. But actually, I didn't believe it myself. I'm a chiropractor. I love it. But everybody, Allie, you need to do this. Allie. Alessandra, you're great at this, blah, blah. I didn't believe it. But I mean, I still struggle with imposter syndrome.
Sure, so do I.
It doesn't seem real sometimes. But I thought to myself, okay, now I have this many patients waiting to see me all over the world. How do I create it's an experience. That's what a brand is, right? It's an experience. You can't have me every single time, but you can have me in a different way.
You gotta scale it.
That's my brand. I gotta scale. I gotta get this, procedures done. I gotta
can't make 100 clones of you.
Right. And that's in my office. It's in the water you drink when you come in here. It's in the colors. It's everything that is me.
That's a great point too.
It's everything. It's the smell. It's me.
I saw that. I saw the little thing with the smell. I'm like, damn, there's some scents in here too. I love it.
It's my 5
But you
senses.
made up a good point, I think, too. I work with a lot of young guys trying to mentor them and other business ideas and stuff. And a lot of things people ignore is scaling, where what you just said, if you're the product, you got to figure out a way. Like, I'm friends with Johnny Dang, right, the jeweler. Most people buying jewelry from him, they want Johnny. They want to, because he's the experience.
Yes.
And I've seen in his business, obviously a little harder. It's obviously much different than chiropractor, right? But when you're the brand, the struggle is how do I give that experience of me without me actually being there?
My girls.
So I'm excited to see.
How they talk, the smell, the colors, the paint, the textures, how you present yourself.
So if I'm
when you're wearing...
going to the spa at one hotel, are they going to have the Miss Chiropractic method?
They will. They'll be everywhere. Don't worry, it's coming. And more importantly, it's not even a brand. It's even in my business development and my standard operations, in my manual, I can go pull it out now. It reads, it is a culture when you walk in here.
Let's talk about that. What do you want to, what's the culture you want to put out? What is your
To be aggressively
mission?
happy through your life.
That's awesome.
To be aggressively
happy. And I like how aggressive that sounds. Like, that's like heavy.
It's on the neon sign in the back of my wall back there.
Aggressively
happy. And by the way, it's coined. It's copyrighted.
Yeah. I know how that goes.
I went that far. I believe that deeply in myself. I'm okay with that. You know?
You should be.
But this is the culture. It's how you answer the phone.
Yeah.
So when you leave here, you get a shot of something. It's everything. It's
you have a
getting-
choice.
Yes. Se lleva de sangre. It's in your blood.
I like that. It's dope.
It's in my
You
blood.
know that saying, Pamela?
It's in my blood to be aggressively happy.
Okay. So, you got this new beautiful office. You said you're expanding.
Mm-hmm.
So, you're going to be a full wellness,
Full
one-stop shop,
Yeah.
whatever.
The next step is the massage therapy, the hyperbaric chamber. It's everything. We got spine decompression, X-rays, anesthetics. We got the injectables. We got the IV. We got the hydrations. We got everything already. It's the next step. I want to have a place where my patients come and I say, hey, I might not be able to help you, but this can. Or hey, let's combine forces.
Yeah.
I want to be sexy. I want to be happy. I want to be achievable. I want to be everything that you guys told me I couldn't be.
Fuck the haters.
Let's go.
The haters hate. You need that fuel. So what's your goal long term? I mean, obviously you want to keep expanding, continue to help people all over the world.
That's it.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Like, what would be your aggressively happy 5-year timeline?
That I am a CEO, empowered female, one of the biggest national chiropractic brands.
I see you having a national franchise, crushing it.
I'm ready.
Your branding's
I have
much
a
better.
legacy,
Your
I'm
branding's
building
much
an
better than
empire.
the joint.
No, and I say that all the time. I actually affirm, by the way, and someone taught me this. I don't want to say who she is, but I have affirmations.
Yeah.
I want to be a
Yes.
mother of 2. I want to have a brand, an empire, a legacy. I want to have trust funds for my children. I want to have a dream that I could have never myself imagined for my family, and one I never had.
I can tell you, it's fucking cool watching it from the sidelines for the amount of time
I'm
I've
ready.
known you. It's
Go.
super inspiring.
Let's fucking go.
I don't know. Literally, I'm so glad we connected because you're exactly the type of people that I want to be talking to and putting out in the world, because I think we just don't hear about it enough. Like, you have a fucking amazing story. What you built is amazing. And outside of your TV show, obviously, right? Like, that's great. But, like, you would still be as equally as amazing in doing what you're doing. I mean, the TV show obviously probably helped you grow a little bit faster.
Sure.
But the simplest thing I heard someone say was Rick Rubin, the music producer. But basically, and this is how I feel when I hear you talk, I think this of you, where it's like you're not creating to serve yourself, you're creating to help others as like an offering to the world. And because you're doing that, like, good will come to you, essentially.
The last line in my affirmation reads, Alessandra will leave this world a better place than she found it. She is free, she is strong, she is the ultimate person, she's a butterfly.
It's awesome. I'm definitely leaving here today stronger than when I rolled in. Physically, she cracked me real good. Mentally, emotionally. Is there anything else you want to touch on?
No,
You feel
we
good?
just rocked that.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
easy.
Yeah. Nothing else in the back burner you want to hit, promote?
No, No, I'm happy. I got so much going on. Honestly, I found out I'm getting a publicist. I have too much. We're gonna go national. I have to. Or when we have a lot of coming up things to keep in touch with.
I'm glad you could make time for my small little production.
No, I knew I wanted you. That's the weirdest part about it. I suck you out. Remember that?
You know, it's funny.
Everybody needs everybody.
Honestly, there's some universe stuff going on too, because I haven't Northlake, your office, we're in Northlake. I've not been in Northlake since I lived in a halfway house.
Right
2
down the
blocks
street?
down when I was 18, 19 years old, coming out of rehab. Where I'm like, to me, it's a beautiful thing to be coming back, doing this, sitting with you. It's like,
It's wild, right?
the evolution of both of our lives is absolutely wild.
Divine time.
Yeah.
It has a way of I say it all the time. It's like, especially since I'm so OCD and I'm such a control freak. Such a control freak.
Comes with the territory.
And you have to be, right?
Yeah.
Because everything I have to do now is very purposeful, but it's no matter how much you try and control the situation, you might not happen when it wants to, but it always
If there's a lesson to be learned, it's going to keep showing up until you address it. What would be some advice you would give to younger men or women, moms of postpartum, like anything?
My biggest advice to anybody is, damn man, I wish I listened to myself more. I wish I trusted my gut, that instinct. I wish more than anything, and for anybody, to stop letting other people's opinions dictate your future. You gotta stop that shit. Like now, like today, look in the mirror and realize the only person's dictating. It's not your mom or dad. Let them get
It's
that.
true. No.
Don't let other people dictate who you are and your people and your purpose and your voice. You do that.
Yeah.
Just you.
And it comes from within. It's not
Be
ever coming
whoever
from
the
the
hell
outside.
you want to be.
Fuck yeah.
That's it.
All right, where do people find you? How do they come see Miss Chiropractic, even though you've got like a 2-year fucking wait list?
There's exceptions. Kidding. I
Yeah.
didn't say that to you.
If you're important, she might be able to squeeze you in.
No, but we're expanding, and actually I built this practice to actually be like high volume. So I just hired an associate. So even if you don't get me, you can have concierge. But you can find it at Miss Chiropractic Wellness and Spa here in Palm Beach Gardens. Look at my website, Miss Chiropractic, my IG, my TikTok, my YouTube channel. I was just on today's show. You're gonna find me on some more shows. That's all I gotta say.
I was gonna say, like, I know we can't go into detail.
There are a lot of things on the horizon, shows, ideas,
Are we
creative
gonna
purposes.
see you back in our
I think
living
you'll be
rooms?
seeing me back in your living rooms, just not the way that you thought you would.
Ooh,
I'll leave it with that.
teaser.
I know!
I don't even know, but the anticipation's killing me.
And yes, whether it's me or any of my amazing chiropractors, Miss Chiropractic is branded so that we can scale this and see more patients. So yes, get in the door. Let's go for it.
Awesome. All right, y'all, you heard it here first. Check her out, Instagram, get an appointment with her. Definitely follow her journey. Super inspirational, powerful. Stay true. Later.